The Bleeding Ear.
Playing it loud like in the studio.
810, heart, soul, rock and roll, The Bleeding Ear, supporting local music and local musicians. Got a special guest this morning, Christopher Allen Yates. Christopher, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm great, sir. How you doing, brother?
Too bad. Are you losing your mind yet over the pandemic, or are you handling things pretty well?
I'm keeping myself busy.
Have you noticed anybody that's gone crazy? Anybody, family?
That's a big
friends?
question.
It is, because I know people that are literally losing their minds.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Sure.
No, it's scary. It's frightening. America's going to need therapy once we're done with this whole thing. But how do you
Dead
administer
on with that one, my friend.
how do you administer therapy to 350 million people?
Put it on
Music.
TV.
Well, Dr. Oz can't do it by himself, or Dr. Phil, those
Or
quack
Dr. Fauci.
doctors on TV. Christopher Allen Yates. Can I just call you Christopher Allen Yates, or
Christopher's great.
Christopher's good? Okay.
If you don't get confused, who's talking?
You've been doing this for a while. I was looking at you got a fourth album coming out this year. You worked with Ed Roland, but I was impressed with the number of people that you've either worked with and or performed with. Driving and Crying, Collective Soul, Sean Mullins, John Waite, The White Stripes, Scott Stapp. The list goes on and on and on. Ringo Starr. Did you get to talk to those people, or because I was in a band once, and I worked with Sheryl Crow, and I worked with the band Mountain, with Leslie West.
Yes.
Never got to talk to them.
But we know
in
your
some
style
cases,
like that.
the Ringo Starr thing was interesting. When Sweet Tea was playing, we actually played his birthday party in Nashville.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we were actually on stage with Ringo and his all-star band, and we got to say hello to Ringo.
Yeah. I got to interview Ringo once, and it was funny because there was an urban legend that there had been some Beatle recordings that, maybe the record was like close to being released and they'd been stolen, and the album never got released. And so I asked him about that, and he said it was urban legend. But the funny thing was, if I'm not mistaken, the song had the album title was something similar to the song that we're about to play from you. I think it was called "Hot as Sun." That was the urban.
Oh yeah,
that was
That's interesting.
the urban
Trivia.
legend. Yeah, the urban legend back in the day. But Ringo was great. He was very, very friendly and very warm, and
Yeah, he seems like a sweet guy.
yeah, he does seem like a sweet guy. So tell me about the new album that's coming out.
Well, what I'm doing is releasing some singles first this year. I'm going to stay on that for a bit. Spotify seems to like it when you release them one at a time. You get a little bit more bang for your buck.
That's good to know.
I'm going to be releasing some new singles this year. I'm going to re-release some stuff that I recorded that I never put on Spotify off of an album, an EP that I did called Familiar Fire back a few years back.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it. Yeah, I'm going to be releasing some new tunes, but not in the format of an album.
Okay. Now, it says here you're constantly striving to reinvent yourself and your music.
Well, yes.
Where do those influences come from? How much attention do you pay to the current state of music?
It's funny because I go back always to where I started, and reinventing yourself sometimes I think it takes getting back to where you were. My dad was a musician,
Mm-hmm.
and growing up listening to his country, the music that he listened to was not something that I associated myself with. But as I've gotten older, that stuff gets in you,
Yes,
and
it does. Yep.
you draw on that. You go back to that, the stuff that you listened to as a youth, even the stuff that I kind of denied as a youth. I love it now. It's dear to me.
Name a band that maybe your dad was into that you might not have been into at the time, but now you can fully appreciate it.
Oh, any of that classic country, Waylon Willie, George Jones, Merle Haggard, any of that era of music, that was his music. So,
right.
Yeah, I love that stuff. I draw on that now for sure.
Oh, that's very cool. So would you consider yourself to be a country artist, or are you
No, not at all. Actually, that's where the reinventing part comes in, because
Right.
if you listen to my music, I think you'll find it's kind of all over the map. I'm a little bit schizophrenic in that way, but yeah, I definitely wouldn't say country artist, pop, folk pop, maybe.
Yeah, see, to me, it's tough to be associated with a particular genre, particularly when your tastes are, see, like for me, I like rock, I like classical music, I like movie soundtracks, I like electronic, I like jazz, I like so many different things, and when I pick up the guitar, that's kind of where my musical tastes take me. I try to play a variety of types of music when I sit down to, finally try to work on a new tune.
We are alike in that way.
Yeah. Well, tell me about the song we're going to play. It's called Hotter Than the Sun.
Yeah, that's a single I did a couple of years back, and inspired by a beautiful girl that I once had the pleasure of dating, and it's just a song about that. That's where it comes from.
Whatever happened to her?
She's still beautiful. We're just not dating.
But she's with somebody else.
Maybe that's what I should do. I should write a whole 10-album set about single dating.
It's going to be pretty cool to have a song written about you and to know does she know this song is about her?
I don't think she does. I don't think she's ever, we've ever had the chance to
Did you want to mention her? Did you want to mention her now or no? Probably not. Just in case. You know why? I wouldn't mention it because it's like Billy Joel. Uptown Girl.
Could be anybody.
Everybody thinks that's for Christy Brinkley, but that was for the 3 or 4 girls prior to her as well.
Of course, Christy Brinkley was just a pretty actress in the video, right?
Wow.
That's right. All right, we've got Christopher Allen Yates joining us this morning on The Bleeding Ear. Christopher, if folks want to download your music or find out more about you, where would you direct them?
Best place right now is Spotify. Just go to Christopher Allen Yates. Easy enough to find me there. That's where all the current stuff's being filtered into.
Okay, very good. And you can, of course, be checked out on Facebook as well and probably all the social media platforms as well. Christopher, thank you for getting up early with us. We appreciate it very much.
Hey, let me give my boys, Ben and Dan over at Haynes High Octane Customs, a shout-out. They're over in Houston.
Absolutely. Anybody else you want to mention?
Oh, man, Will Turpin down at Reel to Reel in Stockbridge. I recorded a single with a young group called the Corduroy Blue. That's somebody you need to pay attention to. They're amazing young dudes, songwriters.
Okay.
But we went down to Reel to Reel down in Jonesboro. I might have said Stockbridge, but in Jonesboro. And we recorded that. And let's see, Sean Keenan over at Napoleon's in Decatur. I love that guy. He's been supporting live music and really keeping it going. That's about all I can think of right now. Thanks, Ivan Duke.
Ivan Duke, there you go. All right, very good. All right. Christopher, Matt, it was a pleasure talking to you. This one's called Hotter Than the Sun. Christopher Allen Yates on The Bleeding Ear, 107.1 WJBD.
Like a comet in the night, a rocket into space, lighting up the darkest skies with heaven on your face. You're hotter than the sun. Take your love on the run. You're hotter than the sun. Take your love on the run. Like a feather